Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's 12:30 on a Friday afternoon, which means it's time for P2P Live, where we give you an update on the employment market throughout Australia. My name is Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of People to People in Australia and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. So it's been a magical week on with the Olympics. I think I really butchered Emma McKeon's name last week, and I may have just done it again. So I just wanted to apologise for everybody for that. So what we've got in store for today is our regular numbers section, where we've got some very interesting payroll jobs numbers that have come through this week. Then we'll be crossing to our P2P HR solutions team. Kajal and Manish have a couple of opportunities that they'd really like to talk to us about. Then I'll be going across the ditch to Wellington, and I'll be introducing the newest member of the People to People group, Capital Recruitment from Wellington, and Peter Crestani, the Managing Director there. And we'll have a little bit of a chat about what's going on in the Wellington market and about capital recruitment and what their specialisation is. But and then finally, our Twitter poll, results from last week. And our new poll for this week as well. So let's get into it, and we'll start with our numbers section. So we'll today we've got some very interesting payroll numbers. Now, before we actually pull this up, I should actually say I can see all of the comments live in real time. So if you do have any questions, then please let me know. So we're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So if you have any comments or questions in regards to the information or the jobs that we're going to talk about today, please make sure you pop them up there as well. So here's the first of the graphs I've got today. And I think about a month or so ago, I pulled up the payroll jobs information because it was relatively new in terms of the way that the Australian Bureau of Statistics and the ATO can gather this information now. One-touch payroll enabling us to pull this data. And this is the number of payroll jobs indexed in the week up until the 14th of March. From the 14th of March 2020, which is the index point, and up until the 17th of July. So it's only 3 weeks ago. And the reason I wanted to show this to you is the impact of the latest lockdowns now in Melbourne this last week and Brisbane and Sydney specifically over the last 6 weeks, the impact that that's had on the number of people in work. And you can see that substantial dip in the last 3 weeks on the payroll jobs. You can see that obviously the profound impact that Christmas has, and then the dip that we've got here. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of what exactly is going on in the marketplace for jobs. That's Australia-wide. Let's have a look at the numbers on a state-by-state basis. Thanks, Jacob. So yes, so you can see here that the decline is not just in New South Wales, but across the board. So you can see, so the change in the week from the 3rd of July to the 17th of July, New South Wales down 4.4%, followed by Victoria 1.9. Sorry, excuse me, the ACT 2.4, then Victoria, then we go to Tasmania. And you can see the comparison from the 14th of March 2020. So you can see that all states are up except New South Wales. So New South Wales is, in the way I'm describing it to clients at the moment, is death by 1,000 cuts, that nobody is actually having massive redundancies at this stage. We've not heard of that situation. But when we're seeing, say, temporary and contract work come through, there's less of it for a start. But then when somebody finishes, then there's no replacement. So there's been a decline in that contingent type of work and the like. Right. So let's go to the last slide, which is again really sort of counterintuitive to what I've just told you. This is the job postings on Indeed. So Callum Pickering, again, his Twitter feed, make sure you get a hold of that. This is a percentage change. And the reason I wanted to show this is you've got New South Wales and Victoria. So this is up until the 30th of July. So just a week ago. And can you see the lockdown? Well, yeah, but this is the number of jobs that were advertised, not the number of people in work, which sort of tells you how different the market is and how we're getting mixed signals. You can see right at the end there, the blue line is New South Wales. And you can see that it has dipped slightly, but it's not dramatic. So we've definitely flatlined since about May in terms of the number of jobs that are advertising. And that's really our experience here at People to People as well, that we are seeing that there's a decline in the number of temporary and contract vacancies, but the permanent vacancies are certainly holding up at this stage. Rightio, so let's move on now. So I'm going to grab Kajal and Manish from our P2P HR solutions team, and we'll have a chat about those jobs. But before we do that, there is a new opportunity in Adelaide, actually working for People to People. And while we get the guys set up, let's have a look at the video from Peter Seaman, the director in Adelaide.
Hi, my name is Peter and I'm the Director of People to People in Adelaide. People to People are an Australian-owned agency with 8 offices around Australia and New Zealand. In 2019, we opened our Adelaide branch and it has been growing fast, and we are looking for a trainee recruitment consultant to join us. A career in recruitment consulting is frequently unexpected and unplanned. Parents and friends suggest traditional career paths in accounting, medicine, or trades, completely unaware of the rewarding opportunities presented by a career in recruitment. To be successful, you must be bold in your outlook, unafraid to speak or communicate with people you have not met before. You'll be open to new ideas and thrive in a highly competitive market. It is likely that your friends say you talk too much, but as a recruiter, you will be rewarded for communicating with your clients and candidates frequently. If you are ambitious and happy to take risks, the next step in applying for this role is answering 3 questions with a video. If this is something that you are not comfortable with, then this role is unlikely to be the right role for you. Have a great day, and I look forward to meeting with you soon.
G'day, Kajal.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
This is the first time for you on P2P Live, isn't it?
It is. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, well, welcome. It's pretty I know that we've been working together for a little while, and you're very well known in the Western Sydney team of People to People, because I know you were there before, and now you're part of our HR solutions team, and you've got an opportunity you'd like to talk to us about.
I do. So I'm currently recruiting for a social media manager for a well-known brand within the consumer electronics industry. So they have conversation-worthy campaigns. So they are located in Sydney Olympic Park. So some of the responsibilities of this role will include things like driving engagement, developing and implementing their social media content strategies across their social media platforms, and working with social media influencers, being involved in those product launches and events that they have throughout the year. So I'm looking for somebody with that big brand experience in retail, in that, space. Retail experience is also a plus. You must be passionate about social media, being across social media trends, being involved in that creative content piece, and really passionate about building those communities through social media channels. So this is a great opportunity for somebody looking to get that global experience. It is a full-time role. They do have a lot of company perks that are on offer, things like parking on site. They have really great staff discounts for their employees, as well as staff initiatives and learning and development opportunities. So if you are interested, please apply or reach out to me on 0481 757 793.
I can see that Jacob has already put the links. Yeah, he's got the links there, which is fabulous. I always think, as somebody who is as old as me in their 50s, thinking, we're going to pay somebody to be on social media all the time. I still can't get my head around that, but this is exactly what it is, isn't it?
It is. It's a really, it's the new thing. I mean, especially with lockdown, social media is how we speak to people.
Okay, and what's the benefits? What's the salary on this one?
So the salary is between 85 to 90K plus super. So it's really, I guess it's above the market, what the market is paying at the moment. And the benefits are like the parking on site, the staff discounts, you've got your initiatives and the learning and development opportunities.
Okay, it looks like you've got somebody who's a friend online. Kate has just said, "Great work, Kajal. I knew you were very well known in the West." There you go. And it is an interesting role. So, what can you just repeat again for everybody? So, because I know that we're on social media right now, so I'm sure there'll be people who are interested and they'd like to learn more. How do they get in touch?
So please give me a call on 0481 757 793. Or send me a quick email on the details below that Jacob's popped up.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. Well, thanks, Kajal. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
The first of many times, but thanks for joining us this afternoon. Now let's go to Manish, who's part of the HR solutions team as well. Manish, I mean, you're a bloody regular on this. You're a regular on P2P Live, and you've got yet another opportunity to talk to us about. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Thanks for having me today. We've got a brand manager position for focusing on mobile products. This is working for a well-known big global brand, a brand that's very well known for mobile products. And by mobile products, I mean your smartphones, smartwatches, tablets, and even includes audio as well now. Yep. So, this is somebody that's going to look after not only the brand name of the product, but also this category of products as well. So anything to do with their marketing initiatives, projects, product launches, promotions, working very closely with retail partners, online partners as well. Somebody that's very heavily involved in creating the digital content as well as the creative design in the marketing space as well for this. So very key position, 100%, and a very challenging but also very rewarding position in every aspect. Now we are looking for somebody that can provide us that experience in having worked with a solid brand name before, somebody that if they have worked in consumer electronics, mobile products, that's even a bigger advantage. And somebody that has also dealt with products that are very high volume as well would be a tremendous advantage. So absolutely, okay. It's a creative role, great position. We are looking for somebody that has got some analytics experience would be great, because you have to also understand how well your product and your marketing initiatives are doing compared to others. So having a solid background in this is well regarded.
I know this company, and to be a brand manager with this brand on your CV, I think would be pretty cool. What about the dollars? What sort of salary are we looking at?
We are looking at offering 110 to 115K base plus super. So it's a very competitive salary in the current market, and some of the perks would include. I mean, the biggest perk would definitely be access to these world-class products, and being involved ahead of time when it comes to product launches as well. If you're somebody that's keen on technology and being involved in a very, very fast-paced environment, this is definitely the role for you.
Okay, cool. Now, if somebody, I can, Jacob's on top of it today. He's already put the job into the comments there, which is fantastic. So, if you are interested, you can obviously just click on that and apply there. But if somebody wants to have a chat to you, Manish, what's the right number to get you on?
Two very easy ways. Call me on my mobile, 044 77 10791, or just email me at manish@people2people.com.au.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks again, Manish. Great to have you back on the
Absolutely,
broadcast.
Mark. Same here. Thank you so much.
No worries. We'll see you next time. Now let's go across the ditch then, because we've had an exciting development with People2People, the People2People group in the last week, where we welcome capital recruitment from Wellington to the group. They will be working with our other brand, Frog Recruitment, in New Zealand. And I thought it was an appropriate time for me to get Peter Cristani, the Managing Director from Capital Recruitment, onto the broadcast to tell us what's going on over in Wellington. Good afternoon, Peter. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much, Mark, and thanks very much for having me. And it's a pleasure to be part of the group. It's been a wee while in incubation, but we've got there, and it's been a pleasure working with you and joining the People2People organisation.
So, so for everybody who's watching and want to know, well, what is capital recruitment all about? Do you want to let everybody know the, I suppose, the core business of capital recruitment in Wellington? Sure.
Well, we've been going since we started the same month and year as People2People did, 2005, and we've working in Wellington's a bit like Canberra. It's a capital city, and we work predominantly into the government sector. So we work in strategy roles, policy, project analysis, and it's all government sector roles. So we work under the banner of the All of Government Recruitment Panel, which People2People are part of, and we've worked with People2People in a partnership arrangement over the last few years, and now we're working closely with them. So the kind of roles that we generally have are from the sort of 60, 70K up to 200, roughly sort of money. And they can be policy directors, policy managers, principals, chief policy people. It's kind of like a world of its own here in Wellington in the government space. And policy is essentially a bit like a strategy for government. So the government wants to put in a new initiative. And at the moment, we've got things like the Three Waters space here in Wellington, in New Zealand. So at the moment, all the local authorities, the local city councils, etc., manage their own water infrastructures, and the government's decided to consolidate these into one national four national organisations. So they need people that can go in and strategize about what does this mean, how are we going to do it, what's it going to look like, and then start the implementation process.
So People2People is a preferred supplier to the Queensland government, New South Wales government. So we might have people watching here today who have a policy background or a government background in state government here in Australia. Do those skills translate? Can they cross the ditch if they're interested in moving to Wellington?
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of being in government, there's a sort of a cadre of experience. So New Zealand, we look to essentially the Five Eyes countries. So to Australia, the UK, Canada, and less so to the US. So if you've worked in government in one of those other countries, want to come back to New Zealand or come to New Zealand, it's very much transferable. And in fact, I've just, after this, I'm talking to a chap who's a Kiwi, been living in Canberra. He's coming back at the end of August, and I knew him before he left. He's very senior government sector, and I'm hoping to help him find his next job here. In fact, I've got a specific role to talk to him about after this discussion. So, yeah, if you want to come to, I wouldn't say it's sunny Wellington at the moment because it's not quite so good. I can see sunshine out the back of your window there. Deliberately no window outside my place at the
moment. Classic. So if somebody was interested in talking to you, then how would they get in touch with you, Peter?
Email me, peter@capitalrecruitment.co.nz at the moment. We're still doing a transition to the Frog brand, so that's the best one, capitalrecruitment.co.nz is the website.
We'll make sure we get Jacob, if you could put a link to the Capital website in the comments there, that'd be fantastic, so people can get in touch with Peter. And now I can see Manda on Facebook says, welcome, Peter. Was there a big surge in economic conditions after COVID restrictions were lifted?
Well, it sort of changed. So during COVID, it was kind of a bit like your experience, I suppose, in Sydney at the moment in lockdown. There was, in our lockdown in March, April, it was kind of a death of 1,000 cuts. Then there was the panic of what are we going to do? So that changed the mix of contract or permanent roles. So it became a lot of fixed term and permanent. And now it's becoming, there's a lot of permanent work here at the moment. We can't get enough good people. Essentially, our issue is about people because the borders are closed, essentially difficult to get here. The government has got a lot of reforms going on, and so we need good policy people, project people, and right across the board. I think if you talk to any recruiter in New Zealand, you'll find that from customer service right through to sales, marketing, automotive. Even I was talking to a recruiter yesterday, he does automotive, and they can't get an auto technician for love nor money. So it's really tight conditions. The unemployment rate's under 5%. But I think
I noticed, didn't it hit 4 or something like that?
Yeah, 4. I think it's 4 something. But I think if you'd look in the trades and the professions space, it would be lower than that. It would be a lot lower than that.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us on the broadcast this afternoon, and welcome to the People to People group. I can see that Jacob's put a link to your website there. 4.0, Shannon just says on Facebook, was the unemployment rate.
Thanks, Shannon.
Yeah, it's a good result regardless. But thanks for joining us today. I'm sure we'll have you on again. And if anybody's interested in learning about roles in Wellington, jump onto the Capital Recruitment website and get in touch with Peter. Thanks, Peter. Thanks for joining us. Right, so let's now have a look at the Twitter poll results from last week. So these were interesting. So we had about 459 people. Remember, it's the Twitterverse. It's not real. It's the Twitterverse. 459 people vote. If you see a job ad you're interested in, do you hesitate to apply because of the recent COVID outbreaks in Australia? Now, 61% said no, I'm going to apply anyway. But the reality is that there are now just under 40% of people who are hesitant to even apply for a job right now, according to the Twitterverse, which I think is indicative of our experience when we are going into the market. There's a lot of hesitation, and even as we heard from Peter in Wellington, the same across the ditch as well. So let's have a look at what we're going to put up this week, because it is relating to this lockdowns and the like that we're experiencing in Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney at the moment. And we did actually ask this question in last year's. We have a market survey called the P2P Post, so we'll be able to compare these results with what the results were last year, I should say. I'm losing track of time. It's COVID. Have you found it tough to build new work relationships while working from home? So we'll see how those results pan out. So I thought I'd now we're running a little bit over time, but I thought so it's something that's close to my heart. It is Friday, the 6th of August. The 6th of August is International Beer Day. So I thought I would share. This was the winner of the craft beers in Australia. I haven't got the exact award, but it's called Gold Teeth. So it's a peach beer. So it's a peach beer, Pilsner, and 70% peach, 30% Pilsner, I think it is, something along those lines. And they use, there's organic peaches that they've brewed it across. And it's called Gold Teeth, and it comes from Ballarat. And so the whole idea is that there's obviously the goldfields back in a day. But jump into a local craft beer on International Beer Day this Friday. I certainly will, particularly during this lockdown. So thanks again for joining us. 12:30 on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube for P2P Live. Enjoy the weekend.